Welcome back to another episode of Sippy Cup Shenanigans. I'm Taylor Palmer.
And I'm Katherine Jensen. And today we're going to be talking about Disney. So, both of us have been to Disney parks recently,
Mm-hmm.
recently ish. I went to Disney World in November, like around Thanksgiving.
That's recent.
And yeah. And then you just went to Disneyland for
Last
like a
week.
day trip last week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we figure, we all need a little bit of happiness and magic in our lives right now.
Yes,
So we're
a lot.
gonna, yeah, a lot. So let's talk about Disney
Disney.
and escape
Mm-hmm. Shall
for a
we?
moment. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of talk about our trips and our takeaways and tips and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So I haven't even really heard about much about your Disney trip. So how was it?
It was good. I mean, it's very different than just going myself.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Going with
because
a
this was
toddler.
this was your first time going
This was
with
our first time.
kids
Yes.
or
And so it
kid.
was, yeah, just kid. We left Riley at home with my parents. Um, Definitely different than just like going as an adult, like when Dwayne
Mhm.
and I would go, or like when I went with my family. um the experience was different because you get to like watch the magic like through your kids' eyes, which is so
Yeah.
fun, and like kind of get to relive that. But also at the same time, like I was exhausted and I kept telling Dwayne, I'm like, we didn't really do that much. Like we
Yeah,
really didn't
yeah.
do that much. Like we if this were us going to Disney, I would feel very like unaccomplished.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
we did nothing.
It's not the same like
Yes.
go,
Yes. And
jam pack everything in.
exactly. And there's like you have to factor in like all the different things that go into which we will probably talk about, but like lines and different
Mhm.
styles of rides and like how your
Yeah.
toddler is going to act and all those things. So it just like it was very different, but it was very fun. Like
Yeah.
um I think it was a good experience overall, but I don't think that we'll be going back again until she's at least like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. How were your experiences?
Good. Our recent trip to Disney World, we had both boys
Mhm.
and we were there with my family. And yeah, it was great. Honestly, like it's like one of those things where it's like a lot,
Yeah.
like a lot goes into it and it's a really long day, like long days and like your feet hurt and like all these things.
Mhm.
But also like at least like I feel like I left and just like really took away those like magical like special moments and overall just like was like that was so fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, just seeing like what things like spark
Yeah.
your kids, right? And it's like
They're just like so
yeah, things
excited.
that might
You're
even
like,
go
"Oh."
like unnoticed by
Yeah.
you and they're just like like
Mhm.
it's so fun. I enjoy Disney actually a lot more with kids than I thought I would.
Mhm.
Um, I thought it was like I probably rather do like a different kind of
Yeah.
vacation. Which like I mean we're not gonna be like annual Disney
Yeah.
goers by any means, but it is like
It's
it
fun.
is super fun.
Yeah.
I do love it, and I think it's worth all of the chaos, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have done it any other way. Like
Yeah.
I definitely think it was like so fun and she keeps talking about it too. So like that's the best part when they're just like,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
met these people and I got to
Yeah.
see it and it's just like, oh,
I know. One of Hillam's favorite things to do is like play Disneyland. And so
oh,
he'll like we will even like pretend to go on an airplane and
oh.
like drive to Disney World and then like go on different rides and like meet characters and stuff and it's so cute. Like he holds on to like and he loved it so
Oh
much he
my
wants to
gosh.
relive it at home
That's
every
so
day.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
So
so
I love it.
cute. I
Yeah.
love that. He's
He's almost 4.
okay, almost. I was like, he's still 3.
Yeah, he
Okay.
turns 4 in March, which
Okay.
is crazy, crazy,
I think
crazy.
that's what I wish, like, because Everly's still she's 2.5,
Yeah,
that I think that if she was a little older, it might like
yeah,
click a little bit more,
yeah,
but for where it is
yeah.
right now, it was still really cute. So,
Yeah, yeah. I took Hillam to Disneyland when he was 18 months,
mm-hmm,
and it was still like super fun, like more than I expected. Like he loved the rides and
mm-hmm,
stuff, but it was definitely like different this time
yeah,
around because he like knew all the characters. He like
yeah,
more like
makes
into
sense.
it and
Yeah,
like aware of everything. So,
cute. I
yeah.
think I'm like an in between. Well, I literally the age is the in between,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
thinking about how you're describing both of them too, besides the age,
Yeah.
it's like an in between.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. Disney
Yeah.
is a lot for the kids to like take in.
Yes.
I could tell through Everly it was like so exciting, but also like
Yeah.
so like stimulating. And I
Yeah.
think it was just kind of like she didn't quite know what to do with
Totally.
herself.
Totally. And I don't know what you like if you felt like yeah, one day was like plenty, was like good enough. We did 2 days when we were in Florida in Disney World and they
Mhm.
were like spread out. So we did a Thursday and a Sunday
Mm,
and I felt like that was like awesome and like I kind of felt like more than 2 days would be maybe
I
too
can't do
much.
that. I
So,
couldn't do more than 2 days. I'm not,
yeah.
I'm already just like at myself one. But
Yeah.
I know my dad loves Disney and he wants to plan a trip where we stay a couple nights, I think,
Yeah.
or like a night, I don't know. Um, but I like that, like the Thursday and the Sunday, because then you don't have to like go back to back. Because I feel like I get drained of it. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a lot, but it was nice. We like yeah, we went on Thursday and then we had like a beach day and a
mhm,
pool day. So kind of more like relaxed
yeah,
and then went back. So yeah,
that's a good
it
way to
was
do it.
yeah, it was fun. And I know like logistically that's not always how it works.
Yeah,
Sometimes you're only there for 2 days and you have
yeah,
to do it back to back. And I did that. We did that when I went to Disneyland when Hilm was younger.
mm-hmm,
And it was still great. Like we honestly like he did much better with the back to back days
mm-hmm.
than I thought and it was great. But it is nice if you can to like spread the love
Yeah,
a little bit.
I would do that if I could. Okay, question.
Mhm.
If you had to describe taking a toddler to Disney in one word, what would it be?
Um, I feel like this is so cliche, but it's like the only word
Mm,
that's coming to my mind
mhm.
is just like magic.
Yep, that's the same word I
Oh,
had.
I know. I'm like, that's so unoriginal. Can't I think of something more original? But like, I don't know. Like it really like it sounds so cheesy and cliche, but it really is like
Yeah.
magical. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Can
It's
you think of something else?
no, because I think that it's true and it is cliche, but
Yeah.
it's like their life. They're little, so a lot of
Yeah.
these like characters and movies and like
Mhm.
shows and
Mhm.
all that is Disney.
Yeah.
It is like a quintessential part of childhood
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Disney. So
Yeah.
when you go and you get to
Yeah.
see all of your favorite characters and everything is like come to life, like how is that
Yeah.
not magical?
Totally. Totally.
You know? And like as an adult, you're kind of like, I don't know. I feel like a little jaded towards it, just a little bit, because you're
Mhm.
like bigger
Mhm.
and it doesn't seem like I remember going and Disney was just like magical because the castle seemed huge. And as an adult now,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not that big. Like, I
That's
think
not
I've
that
never been to
yeah.
Disney World, but I know that the castle at Disney World's bigger. But in Disneyland, I'm like, the castle's really not that big. But as a
Yeah.
kid, it
It's like,
was
"Whoa."
huge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything was so big, and you felt like you were in another world. And so to see it like that again
Yeah.
is like magical. I don't know. It's
Totally.
cool.
Yeah. I know, I kinda hate to say it, but I'm like, they're right, you know?
It's true.
It is magic. And I would say the same for both.
Hmm.
Like, when I went to Disneyland and Disney World, like, it has that same feeling. Like, and it's very similar feel and experience, and Yeah.
One day.
So, and it was super fun. It was very interesting to like see the differences
Mhm.
between like Disney World and Disneyland, and we like talked after and tried to, I don't know, we are just like, which one do we like prefer, and like what are the pros and cons? And I
Mhm.
think they're just like different. Honestly, I feel like the biggest deciding factor is just like what's closer.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Florida was closer for us. Obviously
Yeah.
Disneyland is closer for you.
Mhm.
It would not make sense for you to fly to Florida to go to
No.
Disney World.
Honestly, it's like barely over a 1-hour drive for me,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take that any day.
So I think the biggest deciding factor is like location, but like I think a big pro to Disneyland is everything is a lot closer together and like walking
Yeah.
distance. So like to go between the parks, you just have to walk. And
Mhm.
like in Disney World, like you have to take a shuttle or drive between parks.
That's what you were saying, which I think
Yeah.
is crazy.
And they're
I
like
literally
10
thought that they were all connected at, like,
no.
one center point.
No, and they're like 10 to 15-minute drives apart from each
That's
other.
crazy. Is
Yeah,
that why they say that Disney World is, like, the size of I don't know, it's like a city, isn't it?
probably. Yeah, it's, I mean, it's
It's like a
huge.
comparison. I wouldn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's huge. So there's, yeah, there's no like walking in between parks. So you have to be like more, you have to plan out
Mm,
more like, okay, this day is dedicated to this park and this park, or like, you know,
mhm.
you just have to like think about it that way. And like even when we went to Disneyland, we stayed in a hotel that was just across the street so we could walk from
Yeah.
our hotel. And in Disney World, I mean, there, I don't know if there probably are um places
Mm,
to stay that are within walking distance of a park,
yeah.
maybe. But like we stayed at a Disney hotel,
Mm.
and it was like you still had to take the shuttle into like any of the parks.
Interesting.
It was nice they had like a
The
shuttle that
shuttle?
would come to the hotel.
Yeah.
Um, so that was really nice. And I will say, I mean, this is kind of like maybe a different point, but um I know they do this in Disneyland too. But since we stayed at a Disney hotel, we got
Mhm.
early entry,
Yeah.
which was actually really nice. So,
I do like the early entry.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was interesting to see like the difference between the two. And like
Yeah.
obviously there's like more to do in Disney World. And
Yeah.
we loved like going to like Animal
That's
Kingdom,
the one that looks really cool that I've always been
especially
interested in.
like they have Pandora now, like the
Mm.
Avatar
Yeah.
world, which is so cool, like how they've done it. And then like the Avatar ride, I can't remember what it's called,
Mm.
but it is like it's amazing.
Is it like a roller coaster?
No, I don't even know how to describe it. And I am not going to ruin it for anyone because
Okay.
the part of it is like going into it with like no expectation. I literally was
Mm.
like, we were like, we don't even know what this like ride is really.
Mm.
And we were
Okay.
just like blown away. So that is definitely like one of the upsides to Disney World is like they had like two of our favorite rides that
Yeah.
Disneyland does not have,
I
which
have
was,
heard that, like, there's some
yeah,
good ones.
yeah, which was our favorites were the Avatar ride, the like big one. There's like a
Yeah.
couple, but and then Tron
I
in
knew you
Magic
were gonna
Kingdom.
say that because I
Oh
think
man, it's so
they're new,
good.
right? I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that they're both new, and
Yeah,
I've heard,
yeah.
like, a ton of good
They're
things
both
about
new
them.
and they really are so good.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean,
Ugh.
and that was just like kind of selfish, like our it's not like our kids can go on
No,
those
they can't.
rides, but like as an adult,
Yeah.
those rides were sweet.
Oh, they look fun. But wait,
Yeah.
Is Tron a roller coaster?
Yeah, you like,
Do
yeah,
you
it's
go
a roller
upside
coaster and
down?
you sit on like motorcycle, on like a motorcycle kind of thing. It's
Do
so
you do a
cool.
lot of spins? Like turns?
Like turns, yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
wait, compared
you don't
yeah,
like roller
no.
coasters. Oh.
Compared to, like, Space Mountain,
Okay, it's actually kind of similar to Space
then I
Mountain.
think I would hate it.
Oh, well, Yeah, it's kind of like Space Mountain on steroids. Like,
I'd hate it.
yeah.
Oh, I'd hate it. I literally can't with Space Mountain. Space Mountain makes me
Oh,
sick.
oh, I love it. I love
Mm.
it.
I just get so motion sick, like, I can't
Yeah,
do
you probably wouldn't.
anything. Like, I can't even
I
do
think you would. I don't know. You might get sick on the Avatar one too. Then.
see, even, like, people say, like, the hyperspace oh, no, because now it's hyperspace. Whatever the new, like, Star Wars one is, where you're, like, in
Oh,
the
okay. No, I got sick on that one.
oh, you did see, I know that I
Yeah,
would get sick on that one.
that one was not it. I didn't like that
But
one.
but Space Mountain, or now it's Hyperspace Mountain. But I can't. No. And then the worst part is like half the time I'm like doing it right now. I like close my eyes on the
No,
ride.
you
And
can't.
but everybody says it makes it worse. So then I've tried it where I like keep my eyes open and I just am like breathing through it and I still get off of it and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm gonna throw up right now. But
Oh,
do you
yeah.
remember after high school? I think I like did it for everybody and I did not want to be on that ride. Do
I
you remember
don't
that?
remember. I don't remember specifically that ride, but I'm sure you're
I
right.
don't I don't either, but I just
Wait,
know that every time
you
I go on it. No, I did.
you
I do.
you won't go on the like well now it's like the Incredicoaster. Will you do that one?
I did that one time in high school with Marin,
Okay.
and I wholeheartedly regretted it.
Really?
my
Oh
I
no.
only did it because my dad was like, Taylor, you can do it. Like, come on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, come on, like, don't not do it. And I'm like, I didn't want to do it. And then Marin did it. And then I was like, oh my God, I have to do it. And then she went back and we did it together. And I just vividly remember, like, vividly. And this was like, oh, more than 10 plus years ago. Like, she, to this moment, like, we're on the ride and she's like, here comes the loop de loop. Like, literally, that line has never left.
Here comes
And I just remember going upside down and I was like, get me off of this right now. I don't feel good.
Is it purely like the motion sickness that you
Mhm.
don't like, or
Yeah.
is it like just too
I think it's the motion sickness. I
intense?
don't, well, it's the motion sickness and that I'm trapped in it. Like I can't get out of
Mhm.
it. So I'm like
Okay,
stuck
yeah.
and then it's the motion sickness.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of like inner anxiety workings that add to it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
totally. Oh, I remember going to what was that small amusement park by us
Oh,
growing up?
Oaks Park.
Oaks Park? Yeah, I
That
remember
thing
going to
sucks.
that. Yeah. And you were like, "Nope, I'm not doing any of that."
Because every single ride there spun in a circle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think was it with you? I think it had to have been with you one time. You got me to do one and I was
Oh,
like
no.
trying not to throw up. I went with somebody and I was just sitting in there the
It
whole time. I was
was
like,
probably me.
I'm
I
gonna
was probably
throw
like, "Come on,
up.
Taylor."
I hated that park. Literally all the
Uh,
rides only spun. But it's like
yeah,
that.
they were yeah.
But it's like those were carnival rides.
Right,
And
right.
it's like at any carnival, that's the only rides that you're ever going to see. How many times can you get in a ride and spin until you throw up? With
Yeah.
all the corn dog and popcorn and candy
Oh,
that you do.
yeah.
So
Rough,
maybe that's what
rough.
led to me hating roller coasters.
Oaks Park?
Interesting thought process there.
Okay, well, I am curious because 'cause I've never lived close enough,
hmm
obviously, to Disneyland to be able
hmm
to do just, like, a day trip. Did you
Yeah.
feel like it was worth it?
Yeah. hmm
Okay.
Yeah. It was super easy. It was nice that we didn't have to like worry about staying at a hotel or anything. I know that we
Yeah.
probably will in the future. And I grew up staying at the hotels in Disney and I
Yeah.
loved them. And
Yeah.
like, I'm excited to take her because I find like we always stayed at the Grand Californian growing up.
Oh,
And
that's
I
the
just
best
like
one.
that hotel is magical for
It's the
me.
best. Yeah.
And so I can't wait to take her and go
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
But no, the day trip was great. It was the perfect amount of time. Like honestly, we did not wake up early to get there early either.
Mhm.
Like I think we got into the park around 11.
Okay. Yeah.
So we tried to do it where it wasn't like rushing her in the morning and us so that it was more relaxed and we weren't worried about like spending the whole day there cuz we knew that she wasn't going to take a nap while we were there. And so it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, she's not going to take a nap. Like, let's just maximize our time in that
Yeah.
aspect of it. So, I mean, we were there for about 6 hours,
That's awesome.
and then went home, but it worked well, especially she gets super car sick.
Mm.
And so we were able to have like Dramamine for her.
Oh, yeah.
On
Smart.
the way there, we timed it perfectly, and on the way back, we didn't have any, and we had to stop at a CVS. And I think she
Mm.
did feel pretty sick because it took time to kick in, and so
Mm.
she was upset. But um, yeah, would highly recommend a day trip. Um, I know a lot of people down here have like season passes, and they can just kind of
Yeah.
go whenever.
Well, and
Um,
you can go when it's like probably not as crowded. Like, did you
I
feel like it was
went.
still
No,
crowded
I went
or
on a day where it said it wasn't supposed to be crowded at all, and it was, like, one of the most crowded days I felt like I'd been there. But I guess I don't know, like, maybe I was just thinking it was crowded because the lines weren't, like, as long as I've ever seen either, so it's like the
Mm.
wait times weren't awful,
Yeah.
um, but I just thought it was gonna be, like, kind of empty, and Dwayne was telling me, he's like, "Taylor, Disney's, like, never empty. I don't know
I
what you
was
thought
gonna say,
about it.
I feel like
It's
I've
empty."
learned that like literally no matter when you go, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I was like,
Like,
"What the heck?"
yeah, because I've gone all different times of the year, and I feel like, yeah, no matter
It was literally
when,
on a
it's always
Wednesday.
crazy. Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
think I realized afterwards that that Monday was a holiday, and so people could have
Mm,
taken that week, and I didn't think about that. So that
mm,
could have messed with a few things because there was a lot of
maybe, but you'd
families.
think people would have been, well, yeah, I guess maybe, but
I don't know. I was a little bummed, but, live and learn.
well, speaking of lines, did you
Mhm.
guys do any like Genie Plus or anything like that? Probably not
We
because
didn't.
you're doing just smaller rides,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
we were doing bigger and when the kids get bigger,
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't look too into it at this point. I don't know Genie Plus versus,
Lightning Lane.
Lightning Lane. I know that you could get them on the app, but I didn't look at the
Yeah.
difference. Do you know the difference between?
I'm trying to remember, but with Lightning Lane, so Lightning Lane is the Disney World one, and we did use it a couple of times. Like it was really nice for the popular rides. Like the Avatar one. So we got Lightning Lane passes. Um and
I
if
think
you're there,
they're the same thing. I'm just interrupting
okay.
for a second. I think they renamed it.
Okay.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah, so cuz you have to like get it for specific rides.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it where you just get it on your phone? Like
Yeah.
you sign in to, like, you're like, I want to pass
Yeah.
there. And so
Yep.
then you come back at a certain time
Yep.
versus having to walk and like press on the thing.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
So it's just on your
It's just
phone.
on your phone.
So
Yeah.
you pay to have it on your phone. Is that
Yes. And
essentially what
then
you're doing?
yeah, and then yeah, you still sign up for like a time slot
Yes.
that
But
you
you
have
just
to go.
don't have to physically walk the whole
You don't
park to go
no.
and click.
And you
Yeah.
you actually have to do it like a we had to do it like a couple days before because they sell
Oh,
out.
what?
So, yeah. Yeah,
Wait, do you get
so
to do all your fast passes at one time? Because
um
I did this
I think you can only do
one at a time, right?
well it depends. So like so we made a reservation for like Animal Kingdom because you have to make a reservation for like a specific park, right? So like we reserved like our tickets, our pass tickets
Mhm.
for like Animal Kingdom on Sunday.
Okay.
And then you can go in, like, since you've reserved tickets for that specific park,
Mhm.
it gave us like a couple of options. So we could either reserve one Lightning Lane pass for like a bigger ride,
Mhm.
like the Avatar one, or you could do like, I can't remember if it was like two or three for like
Smaller.
smaller ones. So it does, you are limited in like how many
Yeah.
you can do. Um, but it was really nice for like the longer rides. I would say
Yeah.
it's definitely it's definitely worth it if you can get them, because like I said, they do sell out. But if you can get them, like, I mean, the Avatar ride, if we just would have waited standby, was like 2.5 hours,
That's
but it took us like 20 minutes.
okay, yeah.
And then what you do is, if you're there with like multiple adults
Mhm.
and you can do the parent swap, it's like amazing. Because like, so we were there with my mom
Mhm.
that day in Animal Kingdom. And so Austin and I got Lightning Lane. Well, okay, everyone still has to get Lightning Lane passes, but
Okay.
like Austin was able to do the ride twice, because Austin and I went with our
Mm,
Lightning Lane, and then my mom used hers, but Austin was able to just use the parent swap. So he got to go twice, and he only waited
nice.
like, yeah, 20 minutes or whatever. So
Nice.
yeah, and I would say that's another like huge tip, which I'm sure like everyone knows, but like take advantage of the parent
Yeah.
swap if you
Mm.
have people to swap
Help, yeah, with your
with.
kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be nice. No, I didn't we didn't do the lightning lane, but I have used it before. And
Yeah.
it's probably newer now because I used it a number of years ago when I went with
Yeah.
some friends. Um, but it did help
Yeah.
because you could do it on your phone.
Yeah.
Same with my parents when I was there with them because you could just kind of like do it from wherever. You'd go somewhere and then you'd do your ride and then you'd
Yeah.
quickly do the next one.
Yeah.
Um, but I want to ask if anyone is listening, if you, does any like do you remember or does anybody remember like when we were kids, the lightning or like the fast passes? Did you ever go with the fast pass? Because it saddens me how much it's changed and I wish that it could go back to what it was because when I was a kid, if you booked through AAA, and I don't know if it changed like if you went there, but my parents always booked through AAA. You
Okay.
could purchase fast passes, and we literally still have them. And they
Oh,
were
really?
physical cards, and like almost every ride had a fast pass line, and you didn't have to sign up for anything. You
Oh.
had the fast pass card
And it worked for any ride.
every ride. You never had to
Oh,
pay for
that's
anything.
nice.
So
That's
there was
nice.
just it was an extra charge on top of it, but you just didn't have to wait. Disney just used to be a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just like going back in my head too, and I'm thinking like
I don't remember that, but
they, my
that's
parents had like
nice.
receipts that I went through too. It was like,
Oh, I'm sure so much
I feel like
cheaper.
the tickets for us to get in were like $30. It was so
That's
cheap. I know. I
insane.
know. I know. I
That's
was going back and the receipts
wild.
were really old, but I'm just like, I'm like, no way. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
You could never.
I think it cost more for them to do like the Goofy's Kitchen breakfast than it was for like daily tickets to Disney.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, that brings up a good point though. Did you do any like character dining or anything?
No, no, but when she's older, I will. I
Yeah.
think that this was just like a first go around. And so
Yeah.
honestly, like, um, we didn't do the fast passes, like I said, or anything like that because we were just doing the Disneyland side. And
Yeah.
there weren't enough rides that had like fast pass lanes over there for her
Yeah.
age.
Totally.
Oh, excuse me. But yes, we didn't do any of that. And honestly, we only did one ride.
One
Like,
ride?
yep.
What ride was it?
We did one ride and it was a mistake ride. And it ruined the rest of the rides for the rest of the day.
Oh, dang
Um,
it.
so if you are a parent with a young child, I would suggest maybe not doing the Winnie the Pooh ride for
Oh,
a
I could
child.
have told you that, Taylor. I could have told you not to do the Winnie the Pooh ride.
I I saw pictures of it and it looked like bright, like kind of neon colors. And I'm like,
Yeah,
she
it is
loves Winnie the Pooh.
creepy though.
There's like a second in the ride where it's like completely
Mm,
dark before you go into the like creepy ass dream.
yeah.
And she's like, "Oh no." And then this poor girl, she's like, and she was crying and it was like not the
Oh
loudest cry, but like
no.
like we
Yeah.
were trying to help her. I felt bad for the people behind us, but it wasn't like she wasn't like screaming like get me out, but she was
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
sad. And the whole time afterwards, we were waiting in line to meet Winnie the Pooh afterwards, and she's just like, we FaceTime my mom because I wanted to see Riley, and I thought maybe it'd make it better. She looks at my mom on FaceTime and just like, I
Oh,
don't
no.
like the dark.
Oh,
No.
no. Oh,
I'm just like, even now to this day, she's like, I know I don't like the dark, mama.
no. You're
Like,
like, "I'm sorry." Yeah.
but but she did meet Winnie the Pooh after the ride, and he gave her a kiss and a hug, and she was over the moon
Oh, good.
and so happy.
Heart healed.
But yeah, we didn't really like, that was semi towards like maybe around like 3, and we decided we were gonna go see some princesses, but we were like, let's
Yeah.
go. We went over to like the what used to be Tom Sawyer's Island, so I think it's
Okay.
Pirates Island now, and we just like let her run around over there, and like there was treasure and all of the things, like she got to run across a couple bridges and stuff like that, and like she had fun doing that. We thought about doing like the storybook ride.
Mhm.
It's a Small World was closed.
Oh, dang it. I was
I
gonna say
know.
that's those
That
the
was what
It's
we
a
were gonna
Small
go
World
straight to.
is my boy's favorite.
Yeah, and I didn't wanna take her on teacups because she gets car sick, and
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah. Yeah,
that's not
no.
gonna happen."
Mm-mm.
And then Alice in Wonderland, I think, would've been freaky.
Yeah,
Peter
that's
Pan was
fair.
pretty dark after,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And Peter
Mr.
Pan usually
Toad's
has a long
long line,
line. Yeah,
and so there just wasn't, like, it was
totally.
that, and then, with the Jungle Cruise, but that line got super long, and
So
I've never
long.
seen it that long.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was like 45 minutes. I was like, "Since when is Jungle Cruise
Ju
line 45
Okay,
minutes
no, that
long?"
it was crazy long in Disney World too, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, since when does
I feel
Jungle
like
Cruise have a long line?
I feel
Like,
like Jungle Cruise was always like a 15-minute and
yeah,
or walk-on ride,
yeah,
like, pretty consistently, and
yeah.
and then I got a little worried about that one too, just because I was like, I think at the end of Jungle Cruise, they're like, "Oh no, the animals," and, like, don't they? Like, you're kind of like they're kind of rampaging through, like, some stuff, and they kind of, like, pretend that the boat's moving fast. That's what I
I honestly
remember.
don't remember 'cause, we didn't do it
Mm.
this
I
last
just didn't
time.
want her to get freaked out, and
Yeah.
so, we decided instead of waiting in line for the storybook ride at the end that we were just gonna go wait and see when Mickey Mouse came out, because if
Oh,
you click on the app on the characters, it tells
yes.
you what time they're gonna be
Yes.
there. So
Yes.
we found that he was gonna be there in, like, 20 minutes, so we just kinda, like, walked back, which was, like, right in the front of Disneyland on our way out,
Oh,
and so
yeah,
we
that's
walked
nice.
through a store, the marching band came out, and so she thought that was really cool. We walked out of
Oh,
the
that
store
is
so she could
fun.
see, and then they did, like, this whole thing while they were lowering the flag and had a bunch of different, like, military people come out and, like, salute, and they lowered it, and when they went when the marching band went back behind, like, the doors, um, the conductor waved at her, and she waved at him, and she
Oh,
thought that was really cool, and then, um, it was nice because then we just waited, and Mickey just walked out, and we kind of just rushed him.
jumped in
Yeah,
line
we're
or
like,
jumped
"Let's
in
go."
line?
Yep, mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Because
Goofy
those
as well.
character lines can
They
get
get
long
so long
too.
because that's really what took up our whole day. And
Yeah.
that's why
Oh, totally.
when I said to Dwayne, like, it felt, like, unaccomplished as an
Yeah,
adult, like, we
because what
didn't
they wanna do what the little
Mhm.
kids wanna do is, yeah, like, meet the
Meet the
characters and
characters.
stuff, and that is, like
We
you still have to
started
wait in line
You do.
and
And we
yeah.
started at Minnie Mouse's house, and that was a 30-minute line to start the
Yeah.
day, and I was, like,
Yeah.
really impressed because she was totally fine waiting.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't hop over to Mickey's because his was 45 minutes after that, and
Right.
I'm like, "I'm not
Yeah.
waiting." So we walked through his house because you can exit after, so we walked through, but we said hi to Minnie. Donald Duck walked out,
Mm.
waited in a line for him, but, yeah, all these characters have
Yeah.
lines,
Yeah.
so that's where your time goes.
Totally. Hillam loved the characters, though. He kept saying,
Mhm.
like, "I wanna meet more characters. I
Yeah.
wanna meet more characters."
Yeah.
And yeah.
She hasn't stopped talking about it too, and we got her, like, the autograph book and
Oh,
everything,
cute.
and, like, she's been obsessed with Lilo and Stitch, so she picked out a Stitch pin,
Oh,
and she had a Minnie
cute.
Mouse book, which I have to, like, print pictures for because it has, like, photo sleeves in it. It was
That's
super
so
cute,
fun.
but, Donald Duck had like taken the Stitch pen and he was like joking with her that Stitch was like stinky and like, oh, he didn't like, and so she hasn't stopped since then. And she's like, no, and Donald Duck said Stitch is stinky and he's not stinky. And like, just like the tiniest things are just so
Yeah.
funny because like whoever that is playing probably doesn't think
Mhm.
much of it, but
Right,
like
right.
she took that and is just living off of it, and it's so
Yeah.
cute, and like just everything, like
Yeah.
she loved seeing all of the characters. It was so cute.
Yeah. The app was super helpful for that, to be able to
Hmm.
see where the characters are, what the wait time
Yeah.
is
And I
like.
didn't realize that until the end of us being there when I was looking for Mickey Mouse. So
Oh,
if you're
dang.
going, I would recommend
Yeah.
that too. That's a
Yeah.
cool thing to know.
Yeah, take full advantage of the app.
Hmm.
Like also the mobile ordering, the food ordering was super
Didn't
nice.
know about that either.
I don't know if you got any food while you
We
were there.
we did, and I'm just looking at one of our questions was talking about, I don't know if I'm skipping things, but um just like packing items like snacks and stuff like that for the
Yeah.
kids. And I'm thinking like I went crazy and I did like a whole snack platter. I brought like extra snacks, like everything
Yeah.
so that she had
Yeah.
things, knowing that I was probably going to buy stuff there too, but like was so prepared.
Yes, so many you have to have
So
so many
prepared.
snacks.
But I don't know if anybody else deals with this, but like I was saying, like how it was like overwhelming. I think the entire day was
Mm.
so overwhelming for her. Like she didn't eat.
She's
Like
like, "I don't
I've never seen her like
there's too
this.
much going on for me to eat."
But even like ice cream, it was kind of crazy. Like Dwayne got her an ice cream and she had like a little bit of hers because I told him he shouldn't buy two because she wasn't going to eat it. And he's like, no, 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 no. And she didn't. She didn't really eat it. She had a little bit of it and thought it was really cool, like her Mickey Mouse ice cream. And then that was it. But because I'm thinking like all she ate was sugar. Well, she didn't even eat that much sugar. Like she had some of the ice cream,
Yeah.
and then later Dwayne and I got a Dole Whip. She didn't want it. She
Mm.
didn't want any of it, which is uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
And then what was the other? She did have some of the beignet.
Mm.
But like I had pouches and bars and like I got
Yeah.
her a bean burrito with rice and like all these things and she didn't
Yeah.
want any of it.
Oh, wow.
Um
Yeah, she was just
so
too
it was like too
there's too
much.
much going on.
Too
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So prepare for anything.
Yeah.
But just know that also anything,
Yeah.
like I don't know, like that was totally weird for me. I definitely thought she would have at least had
Like,
something that I
been
brought for her that I know
yeah,
she would
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but no.
Mm.
And also along the lines of like things to pack, like we said, I brought diapers and stuff, and Ev is like in that stage where she doesn't really like to poop in public because she's still like wearing her
Mm.
diapers, so she likes to not that day, not that day. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're at Disney, like I don't think I can just like lay her stroller down in public right now and change her
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they have rules.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, if we were just out at a park, I'd have just
Yeah.
but we weren't, and I lost the rock paper scissors, so
Oh,
I had to
no.
change the poop.
Dang it.
And yeah, I think that there's changing pads like there was in the front area, but of like the bathroom. But I'm not like first, I just don't like public bathrooms. Like I find it gross.
Same, 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 same.
Um
Especially changing
yeah.
diapers in a public
Hmm.
restroom.
So I
Ugh.
didn't want to change her on it, and so I just literally took the stroller. I like laid the back as far down as it
Yeah.
could, and I was in a
Yeah.
long stall. It was
Yeah.
narrow. I didn't get a big one. It was still really narrow, and I'm glad that
But
we
long.
squished in. But I told her that we were on a mission and that we just had to do it really quick, and she's like, "Okay." And I'm like,
Yeah.
thank goodness it was like the cleanest poop ever.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because and then I didn't know where to put it. Probably should have
Be
brought it to the front and thrown it in the trash. I put it in the little waste thing where
Oh,
tampons go.
well,
I'm
that's
like,
fine.
whoever comes back here is gonna be like, what smell?
Yeah, hopefully what if they don't change those, like, only
Oh gosh.
once a week or once a month or something?
Oh no. I was like, I just didn't know what to do. I was like, I just gotta get out of here as fast as
Yeah,
like
yeah.
as fast as I can. I gotta get out of here. But yeah, I was glad that we were prepared with all those things, like snacks, diapers, like
Yes.
If it's hot, fans, spray bottles.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was hot, and it was hot. I wouldn't have minded having a fan. I think that's also maybe why more people were there. Like, it was like 80 degrees.
Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a warm day
I
for
didn't like
February.
it. It was
Yeah, that's
January.
Oh, January, yeah.
It wasn't right. I kept telling Dwayne that this is not right. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I said,
that's
I bet Catherine would
crazy.
like
Oh,
it.
I would. I'd be, like, soaking in that
Mhm.
sun,
It was
burn my
like that.
flesh.
Well, it was like that this weekend too. I was like, I don't like that it's warm, but I was thinking of you. I was like, Catherine would like this.
I would love it.
But I was like, I want it to be cold.
I get that though, like, if you yeah, especially, like, Disney, you don't wanna be, like, sweating all day
No,
and
yeah. Like we went
yeah.
to the zoo this weekend and I was sweating. It was literally like
Yeah.
almost I think it was 80 degrees when we left the zoo this
Oh,
weekend.
oh my gosh.
That's wrong. It's winter time. That's not right.
That's crazy.
It's not right.
Yeah.
What about the things that you like can't, they're out of your control, like meltdowns, overstimulation? Like, did that happen for you guys and how did you manage it if it did?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure. You know, it was kind of like any one of those like anything goes
Yeah.
kind of days. Like you're at Disneyland, like or Disney World, like
Yeah.
it's not the day to be like picking all of the
Yeah.
battles.
Yeah.
And so bribery.
Yeah. That always works.
Yeah.
Something fun.
um
Hey, let's get this.
yeah, yeah, or distraction, because I
Mhm.
mean like there's like we've said there's a lot going on. So like, oh well, we're gonna yeah get to go meet this character, we're gonna go on
Mhm.
this ride, or like do you want an ice cream car,
Yeah.
just like or
Mhm.
Hillam loved he just loved looking at the like stores, like all the
Mm.
toys and stuff. So I think he had a meltdown um a couple of times because he wanted to go back to a
Mm.
specific store to like he loved the Buzz Lightyear
Of
store.
course.
Yeah, yeah, and he wanted to go back there and we were like across the park,
Of
right? So we
course.
can't yeah.
Yep. Of course. That's when it would happen.
So, yeah. Um so I don't know. Yeah, just we had to distract him
Yeah.
and eventually we like got over there, but I yeah, I don't know, it's kind of just like anything
I agree.
goes.
Yeah.
Um
You just
to
have to
keep
survive,
him
really.
happy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything to like prevent a meltdown. I really had a few moments where I was like, and I was just trying to prevent it before anything happened. I was like,
Yeah.
I'd rather not. Like when we were waiting in line for a Dole Whip,
Mhm.
they had speakers and the music was pretty loud.
Mm.
And she was like folding her ears kind of closed. Like she was
Oh.
over the sound, but she wasn't like crying or complaining about it. But I could just see she was like,
Yeah.
like she was
Yeah.
over it. And I was like, do you want to go? But she wanted to stay with Dwayne. And
Yeah.
um, so I could just like tell that she
Mhm.
was getting over it. Yeah, there wasn't really much to bribe with because she was like saying no to everything. All she
Yeah.
really wanted was somebody to hold her like all day. Anyways, yeah, I could tell that there was like it was like at the end. She was just like done. She just wanted like the beignets at the end and
Mhm.
didn't really want to do much else. Again, like overstimulation, she hadn't taken a nap and
Yeah.
all things considered, she didn't have a meltdown and I was pretty impressed. I was like,
Yeah.
I
Totally.
mean, good for you. I'm overstimulated and
Yeah.
I'm an adult. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um no, she did fairly well. But if there were meltdowns, I would have just been like you said, anything goes. What do you want?
Yeah. And it yeah,
What
and
do
just
you want?
like you said too, like yeah, there's a lot going on. They're going to be overstimulated. I do think like all things considered, my boys did pretty good.
Mhm,
The first day they both did stroller naps, which was
mhm,
awesome. The second day we went, Hayes still took a couple naps in the stroller, but Hillam didn't. And yeah,
mhm.
and both days we were there late,
Yeah, oh, okay.
like late. And so yeah, by the end of the second day, Hillam was like so
Done.
tired. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so it was kind of just like, yeah, like of course you're gonna be
Yeah.
tired and cranky and hungry and like all of the things. So
Over
it
it.
was just, yeah, it was just like I get it.
Yeah. Oh,
It's been a long
I
day.
know.
We're
I get
gonna,
it. I want to
yeah,
sleep. Like I'm
yeah,
always the one like I'm ready to go.
yeah,
Everly
yeah.
Everly passed out on our walk from downtown Disney to the parking garage on Dwayne. Like he picked her up and she was out
Oh,
of it. Like people were talking around us, like we went in
yeah,
an
yeah,
elevator, like everything out of it.
yeah. I think both boys, both nights, passed out in the shuttle
Mhm.
or in the stroller on the, yeah, just like, well, yeah, like the first night we were there super late, they both fell asleep in the stroller. And then second night, I know they were both like asleep, at least by the time we got on the shuttle, like they were
Out.
zonked. Yeah.
I mean, Disney
So,
really just takes it out of you.
yeah, it does. It's
Like
like so fun, but like not sustainable
yeah.
for like multiple days or like a
Yeah.
super long period of time.
I
So,
wouldn't. No. Mm-mm. Is there anything that you would do like differently for a future trip just based off of the times that you've gone? Like, are there any changes that you would make or things that you would do different on a future trip?
not really. The only like thing I can, or like I guess the first thing that's coming to my mind
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like a small thing, but I would have brought like a carrier or something
Mm,
for lines.
mm.
Um because you can't like take strollers in lines, and they're
Uh,
like if you're going to be doing,
like a little tush baby?
yeah, like a tush baby or like a just like a ring sling
Mm,
or something. Cuz there were a few times we were like in line for a character or a ride, like a small kids ride or whatever, and Hayes was not walking yet.
mm.
So I couldn't let him just like walk around. Like I couldn't let him just crawl
Yeah.
around. And like so I was just holding him the whole time we were in line, and like my
That is a
arms
killer.
got tired. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Everly is
so
walking and she wanted to be held too. So
yeah.
that's a good.
So I would say like if you have the space, that's why I would like maybe like a ring sling or something
Yeah.
you can just
Those
like
are cool.
fold up
Hmm.
would be nice to just give you a little more support
Hmm.
during during like the lines.
I would agree with you.
Um,
I mean,
yeah.
let's be honest, Disney is lines. That is
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entirety of your trip,
Yeah.
other than like the few moments that you were on the different rides,
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
lines. Like
Yeah.
it's all lines. I think
Yeah.
that's what gets me. I think that's maybe where like the magic is like less
Mhm.
there for me. Cause I'm like, it's so fun when you do the things, but they're so short and like the majority of your time is just in
Is in line.
lines.
Yeah, it's true.
And I
It's a
think that that's
lot.
maybe like when your kids are a little bit older and you know that you're not
Mhm.
going to be dealing with like the upset because they're just happy to be there.
Yeah.
That's probably when it gets a little easier.
Yeah.
Cause mostly when I saw like rides and I saw the wait time, I'm like 35 minutes is a long time for a 2.5-year-old to
Oh, for
stand in a
sure.
line.
For
Like that's
sure.
long for me. Like
Yeah.
that's a 35 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of Disney, I think that 35 minutes actually isn't that long of a wait.
Right. Totally.
But
Yeah.
like for little kids, like
It
that's a
adds
long
up
time.
though.
And so for I think that that was where my stressors were. So I think like if I were to go again, I think I'd probably want to get there earlier than we did.
Mm.
Um I didn't like I think it was fine the way that we did it the first time,
Yeah.
but um I think next time like if especially if we were to stay the night, like I'd want to get there early because
Yes.
those younger kid rides I would like have her do first. And then the rest of
Yeah.
the day could be a lot of like kind of doing what we want, go with the
Yeah.
flow, meeting the characters and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
if we were to get those rides out of the way
Mhm.
with no lines,
Totally.
character lines are a lot easier because you can just see where they are. And then
Yeah.
kids can walk in and out of those lines. You can have your
Yeah.
stroller with you half the time for
That's
those.
true. That's
And
true.
it's just easier.
Yeah.
Um, So
No, that's
I
so
think that
true.
I would plan it in a way of being like, I would want to know exactly what rides that we were gonna
Yeah,
do, and then like hit those right away before
for
lines get
sure.
long, and
Yeah, I
then
will
spend
say,
characters.
yeah, I think that's super smart because, like I said, we got early entry, which we took advantage of,
Hmm.
and that first, well, the early entry, and then even after that though, like that first hour
Yeah.
in the park is like prime.
Hmm.
Like, cause yeah, we were able to like hit, like we were able to just walk on
Yeah.
a lot of rides during that first
Hmm.
like 1 to 2 hours. And yeah, it was super nice because then yeah, even the kid rides, even the small rides, like
Yeah.
the lines get up there in the afternoon.
They
Like
do.
they get long. So we were able to just like walk on to the Buzz Lightyear ride. I don't
Mm.
and
Is it
the
like the Astro Blasters?
Yes, yes.
I
And
like
by
that
we, I
one.
mean Austin and Hillam. And then I took Hillam on like the rocket one that like
Oh
goes
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
spins around and
See, like I would want to take her on Dumbo because
yeah,
I
Dumbo for
loved that
sure.
one, and we didn't do that
For
one.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think that there is some sort of like an art to
Yeah, yeah.
planning the rides. And
Mhm.
this go around, we were just very lax about it because we didn't want to put
Mhm.
any stress
Totally.
on it. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think when she's older and we go back, I would be like, okay, I want to do these certain things, and she'll
Yeah.
be old enough
Yeah.
to. So
Yeah, I would say like
yeah.
the rides that you're like I for sure like we have to do
Mhm.
those, like do them first thing.
First thing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would do that. But
Yeah.
the characters, I feel like the characters is like an is like a as you go through the rest of the day. It's just like more relaxing to do that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Just like go with the
I
flow.
agree. Yeah, like we when we were waiting in line for Buzz, if you can't tell, Hillam is a big Buzz fan. Hayes I think was like tired or cranky or something. So Austin just like kind of walked with the
Mhm.
stroller around, got a snack, came back in
Exactly.
line,
Yeah.
like
It's just
yeah. So
easier that way.
it is. It is. Yeah.
So
So
I
I
don't know.
agree.
I think maybe
And the
that's my
characters are
advice
there
also.
like all day
Yeah,
pretty
all day.
much.
They go in and out and in and out, and like
Yeah.
there's like times of like where you can. So I think that's more, and
Yeah.
it could be kind of like a hunt. Like the kids don't have to
Mhm.
know that you know. Like, oh look,
Yeah.
he's there. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Overall
my
though,
like what's it the I think that's what I would change next time, and that's also my
mhm.
advice. Like if
Yeah.
you know what you want to do, maybe try and get there early and do those things, because
Mhm.
then you don't have to worry about your kids in lines, and you can stress less. Um,
Yeah. For sure.
but also maybe my advice is to just also go with the flow. Things
Yeah.
are going to
Yeah.
happen, and let it, be what it is.
Especially with toddlers.
Yeah.
Like,
You just
you are on, like, a different timeline. Like,
exactly.
things are just going to move slower, and things are gonna come up, like, they're gonna be hungry, they're gonna need a diaper change,
Mhm.
they're gonna need to go to the
And
bathroom, they're like
And not to like go into it thinking, because I was so excited too, and it's not like it didn't meet my expectations
mhm,
because it was so fun. But also don't go into it, I feel like, thinking that you're gonna get to everything and that your
right,
kid is going to be like,
right.
oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing in my
Yeah,
life, because it's it's most like more than likely not gonna happen that way.
yeah, yeah.
And I would just, with an open mind,
Yes.
and just like go with what they want to do, because it
Mhm,
really
mhm.
is so overwhelming. And like, I don't know, when it's there that age, I feel like it's like
Yeah,
they get to choose, like it's
yeah.
not, it's more, obviously you're going to lead the way
Mhm,
and help out, but
mhm.
it's kind of like go with what they're feeling, and not push it, because you don't want them to like be have too much, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
and not have a good
Mhm.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
For
I don't
sure.
know.
For sure. But yeah, all in all, I would say it's worth it.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone's different, but in my experience, yeah, it's
Go
worth
for
it.
it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's
Everyone told
super
me
fun.
that Everly was too young, and I am still so glad that we took her. I don't care if
Yeah.
she's too young. Like,
No, I think any age
yeah.
it's still fun. So,
Do what you want. If you're going to go to Disney, if your kid's young, do it.
yeah.
Even if they don't remember it, you will. So
Exactly.
that's like the
Exactly.
important part.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. And if we missed any important Disney tips, let us know because I'm sure there's people out there that are highly more experienced and more experts in this arena. But
No, I'm sure. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week. We have a special guest coming on that we're
yes,
super excited to have.
so
And
excited. Yeah,
we are
it'll
excited for
be
you
a
guys
great
to listen
episode.
in.
Okay, we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.